Welcome back. This is the first ladies race of the day at this Canada Cup number 4 finale competition. First up, it's Gabrielle Sanson and Florence Saint-Jean. Opening splits 11:29 for Sanson, Saint-Jean 11:27. These skaters are racing the 500 meter. This is the first of two 500 meters this weekend. Two opportunities for a personal best. This is Sanson and Saint-Jean, and it looks like Saint-Jean has made up some ground down this backstretch. It is tight, but Florence Saint-Jean will take this one. 41:09, 41:22 for Sanson. One pair down, 50 to come in this ladies 500 meter competition. Up next, it's Myriam Labidi from Quebec in the inner lane, and in the outer lane, Weiping Gang from China. Labidi's chasing a personal best of 40.9. But Gan is going to take the opener, though it is tight. 11:6 opener for Gan, 11:7 for Labidi. Gan is also chasing a personal best of 40.9, so this is a well-matched pair here. As Gan comes around on the outside, crossing over to the inside with a big draft down that back straightaway. She is going to use this to carve a big lead in this last 100 meters. Weiping Gang will take this race. Her final time, 40.41. That's a personal best for her, 41:55 for Labidi. Moving on to our third pair. This is Nana Takahashi from Japan on the inner lane and Josie Spence from BC on the outer. It looks like we have a false start. I believe that was Takahashi in the inner lane. Yep, the white flag is up, so Nana Takahashi false starting in this third pair of the 500 meter. There is now a warning to the field. Josie Spence, Nana Takahashi cannot afford another false start. And they're off cleanly on the second attempt. Both skaters trying to get up to speed. Josie Spence, Nana Takahashi. Takahashi's going to win this opener. 11:1, 11:3 for Spence. As they cross over in the backstretch. Takahashi is going to move to the outer lane. Her personal best is a 40.8. See if she can beat that today. Spence, though, keeping pace. And she's going to try and catch her down this backstretch, or down this home stretch. But Takahashi will hold her off. Final time of 40.03. That's a personal best for her. Josie Spence, 40.1. Not too far off of hers. So good races there. As we look at our next pair, this is Isabel Weidman from Ontario in the inner. And Xishan Li from China on the outer. And they are through 100 meters, 11:58, 11:63. So tight opening splits between these two skaters. As they cross over on the back. See these international skaters paired with Canadians. And it's a tight race. Skaters, they don't often get to race against. And it's going to be close to the line. 40.60 and 40.61. Tight race at the finish. Lee takes it by 100th. In our next pair, we have Xinmiao Zhang from China on the inner lane and Lindsay Kent from Manitoba on the outer. Clean start for both skaters, and they're looking strong through 50. Another tight opener, though it is the Chinese skater who is going to have the lead. 11-1 is her opening split, 11-4 for Kent. So Kent's got some work to do through the rest of the lap. And you see Zhang doing a very good job of staying low and long while still moving her feet. Kent trying to keep pace, but it's going to be Xinmiao Zhang finishing with a final time of 39.87. That's the fastest time of the morning. Up next, we have Caroline Gingras from Quebec in the inner lane and Jenny Kukkonen from Finland in the outer. Jenny Kukkonen's personal best is a 40.4. So she's looking to beat that here. Her opening split, 10-9, 11-4 for Gingras. Gingras' personal best, a 40.5. But it's all Kukkonen through the second half of this race, as she's going to come out of that inner lane holding the corner, and she's going to drive to the line. Jenny Kukkonen, her final time, 40.32, 40.70 for Gingras. And that should be a personal best for Jenny Kukkonen, a couple tenths of a second. As we look at the next two ladies up on the line, this is Anne-Marie Gulbrandsen from Norway and Andrea Dodik from Alberta. And off to a snappy start, both skaters. It's the inner lane with the lead. That is Gulbrandsen. Her opening split, 11-2, 11-4 for Dodik. So Andrea Gulbrandsen's chasing a personal best of 40.4. That would be right in line with all the best times today. Dodik's personal best is a 40.5. Let's see if these two girls can do it, as it is still close down the line. But Gulbrandsen is going to take it. Her final time, 40.26. So that is a personal best for Andrea Gulbrandsen, 40.7 for Andrea Dodik. Up next, it's Julia Roth from Alberta in the inner lane and Allison Bates from Great Britain in the outer. Clear start here. Interesting contrast in skating styles between these two skaters. Roth skating very low as they cross their openers. 11-0 for Julia Roth. Allison Bates, 11-4. But look out, Allison Bates has this last inner. Let's see if she can use the tight corner to her advantage. And she's going to pull out side by side with Julia Roth, but Julia Roth has the energy here and the speed to hold off her pair. Julia Roth will finish with a time of 40.36. Allison Bates, 40.45. In our next pair, which is quickly underway, Dongzhu Z from China racing Sarah Spence from BC. 11-2 for Z. Spence, 11-4. Crossing over in the backstretch. 500 meter is a one-lap race. So they only get one crossover exchange, one chance at an inner, one chance at an outer corner. Dongzhu Z will come to the line. She's going to win this pair. Her final time, 39.78. Sarah Spence, 40.4. This is our 10th pair of the afternoon for the ladies 500 meter. Madison Pierman from Alberta in the inner lane and Rike Jepsen from Norway in the outer. Rike trained for many years here in Calgary. And a false start in our 10th pair. Was it Jepsen or was it Pierman? It looked pretty close. One skater's blade may have been across the line. Let's see which flag is raised. As we look at our leaderboard, fastest time of the morning, or of the afternoon, sorry. Dongzhu Z with a 39.78. That's the time to beat her Chinese compatriot Xingmiao Zhang, 39.87. Nana Takahashi, 40.03. It looks like we are ready to go here for a second attempt at a clean start. Pierman and Jepsen. And they're off. Jepsen's on the outer, Pierman's on the inner. Both skaters drag race down the first 100 meters. 11-2 for Jepsen, 11-4 for Pierman. Crossover in the backstretch. Jepsen will have gotten a good draft there. Let's see if she can use it to her advantage on this last inner. She can fight those G-forces as she comes out of the corner. She does successfully, but Maddie Pierman coming on strong. But it's going to be Rike Jepsen. Final time of 39.89. That's good for third. Madison Pierman, 40.12. Rike Jepsen right on her personal best. So a good race for her. This might be the pair that takes over the top of the leaderboard. Sugar Todd from the United States in the inner lane and Heather McLean from Manitoba on the outer. And Heather McLean with a great jump on that gun. Both skaters raced the World Sprint Championships 2 weeks ago here in Calgary. Opening splits, 10:42 and 10:46. By far the fastest openers of the day. And Heather McLean using that draft on the backstretch. It should work to her advantage through this inner as long as she can hold the corner and come out ahead. They're down the final 100 meters. Looking for the top time, Heather McLean, 37.32. 37.71 for Sugar Todd. Great time for Heather McLean this afternoon, 37.32. The track record in Calgary is a 36.74. Look at another fast pair here. This is Noémie Fisset from Quebec in the inner lane and Nan Sun from China in the outer. Through 100 meters, Fisset has the lead. Her opening split 10:8, 10:98 for Sun Tan, Nan Sun. As they cross over on that backstretch, Fisset had the lead. Let's see if Sun Nan could have made up the ground. Close to the line. And they are tied to the 100, 38-31. Fisset and Nan Sun. And it seems like Noémie Fisset took it by a few thousandths, a hair's breadth at the line. So the last few pairs have toppled our leaderboard. Heather McLean with the fastest time, 37:32. Sugar Todd right behind her, 37:71. Noémie Fisset, 38:3. Another fast pair here. Jerrica Tandeman from the U.S. on the inner lane. Shannon Rempel from Manitoba on the outer. And Rempel on the outer with a quick opener, 10:6. Tandeman, 10:9. So Shannon Rempel setting herself up for a big, close draft on this backstretch. As she crosses over to the inner lane. Shannon Rempel, veteran of the Canadian team, skating with the national team since the early 2000s. Her final time, 38:44. So that time from Shannon Rempel is good for third place amongst Canadians. 5th overall. That Canadian ranking is important because this is a points competition towards the overall classification at the end of the season for the Canadian rankings. Not only is it finale, this is the Canada Cup number 4. This pair features no Canadians. It's Huai Li from China and Rebecca Bradford from the United States. Both skaters looking strong through the first 100 meters. 1/10 separating them as they're into the final straightaway now. Still a close race, although it looks like Lee has a slight lead. She'll finish with a final time of 38:82, 38:88 for Bradford. This is our 15th pair. Paige Schwartzberg from the United States in the inner lane. Carolina Hiller from BC in the outer. And they are off to a clean start. Hiller and Schwartzberg. Hiller has this opening split, 10:76, 10:80 for Schwartzberg. Anyone's race at this point, it is close. Carolina Hiller's personal best is a 39:1, so she's chasing that this afternoon. Paige Schwartzberg's personal best, 38:9. So these girls will have to have a fast time in order to beat that. Schwartzberg will take this race. 39:36, 39:19 for Hiller. This is our 16th pair. Béatrice Lamarche from Quebec in the inner lane. Rining Tian from China in the outer. Lamarche hunting a personal best of 39.2. Tian, a 39-0. As Rining Tiang takes that opener. 10-8, 11-2 for La Marche. So Rining Tiang setting herself up for a big draft on the backstretch. See if she uses it or whether she will just go right by, and it looks like she just decides to skate right by Beatrice Lamarche with a big lead in that last corner. Tian chasing that 38, her final time. 38.62, big personal best for Rining Tian. Beatrice Lamarche just behind her. Up next, it's Abigail McCluskey from British Columbia in the inner lane. And from the Netherlands, Roxanne van Hemert in the outer. And these skaters are off. The Olympic medalist from Sochi was Sanghua Lee. She was a repeat gold medalist from Vancouver. As Abigail McCluskey and Roxanne van Hemert come to the finish line. Van Hemert will take this one. Final time of 39.23, 39.60 for McCluskey. Looks like that was a personal best for Roxanne van Hemert. Good race for her. As we look at our next pair, this is Dan Bai from China in the inner lane and Alexandra Ianculescu from Romania in the outer. And a false start in this pair. So someone jumped the gun. Looks like it was in the inner lane, so Dan Bai false starting in this 18th pair of the ladies 500 meter. So far this afternoon, Heather McLean with the fastest time. An impressive 37.32. Sugar Todd right behind her, 37.71. As Dan Bai and Alex Ianculescu will line up at the line again. Both skaters will have to be cautious. Another false start in this race will result in a disqualification. So it's important that they keep their wits about them and remain stable on the line. As the skater is hunting for a good opening split, Ianculescu will lead the way. Her opening time, 10.97, 11.02 for Dan Bai. As they cross over in this backstretch with one corner remaining. Switching lanes, Dan Bai is coming on hard on the outer lane. It looks like she's going to take this race. Dan Bai driving to the line. Her final time, 39.36, 39.92 for Ianculescu. Up next, we have a skater from Ontario in the inner lane. This is Carrie Morrison. In the outer lane, it's Xining Yang from China. Carrie Morrison, a short track skater who made the big switch to long track this season. She's gotten progressively better at every competition. Let's see if she can continue that trend here. They were close on the opener, though Xining Yang took that one, 10.98, as they cross over in the backstretch. Morrison's strength is in the middle distance races. Let's see if she has the energy and the jets to catch up to her pair on this backstretch. But Xining Yang will take this one. 39.23 her final time. 39.67 for Morrison. So with that time, Carrie Morrison very close to her personal best. So look at our next pair. This is Kaya Zimonek from Poland in the inner lane. Callie Christ from Saskatchewan in the outer. They come through opening splits 11-0 for Zimonek. Christ 11.23. Like Morrison, Christ a middle distance skater. So she can skate a fairly fast 500 when she's on her game. It looks like Zimonek has a slight lead though. Christ coming on strong. Christ snuck that race at the finish line. 39.46. This is our 21st pair. Femke Marcus from the Netherlands in the inner lane. Brooklyn McDougall from Alberta on the outer. And they're off. Brooklyn McDougall looks like she had a little bit of a stutter step off the line. She's recovered well, though, because she took the opener 11.52, 11.57 for Marcus. Brooklyn McDougall chasing a 41.00. She's looking strong here. Let's see if she can do it. Femke Marcus is chasing a 41.00 as well. Well matched, and they are still well matched right to the line. 40.98 for Brooklyn McDougall. 41.15 for Marcus. So Brooklyn McDougall, I believe that is a personal best for her. First time under 41. As we look at our next pair, this is Inga N. Vasanen from Norway and Jill Ewan from Alberta. And another false start here. That was Vasanen from Norway on the inner lane, jumping the gun. It seemed like she just wasn't quite balanced. When the skaters line up in their start position, they try to have their weight balanced in between their two legs, maybe a little bit more on the front leg than on the rear leg. If their weight is too far to the front or too far to the back, they have to first transfer their weight before they take the first stride, and it wastes precious tenths of a second. But they're off cleanly the second time. Both skaters looking good. This is Ewan and Vasanen. Ewan will take this opener. Actually, it's Vasanen. They're neck and neck. 11.6 for both skaters. So evenly matched on the opener. Who has the faster lap? Vasanen or Jill Ewan as they cross over on the backstretch. It looks like Vasanen is pulling ahead down this home stretch. 50 meters to go. Vasanen looking low and long. Inga and Vasanen, 41.18, 42.33 for Jill Ewan. That should be a personal best for Vasanen. Good race for her. As we look at our 23rd pair, this is Véronique Déry in the inner lane from Quebec and Alexa Scott from Manitoba in the outer. Through 100 meters, Véronique Déry with the lead. 11.3 for her, 11.6 for Scott. See if Scott has the lap to make up some ground. Dede with 3/10 on Scott through the first 100 meters. And it looks like that will make the difference at the finish line as Véronique Dede used her opener to win this race. 40.93 is her final time. Alexa Scott, 41.34. Two pairs remaining in the ladies 500 meter before a midway break for a flood. This is Rose La Liberté Roy from Quebec in the inner lane. Xiangyu Chen in the outer lane from China. La Liberté Roy took that opener 11.6. Chen 11.7. Both skaters now in their final corner, trying to hold their speed. Xiangyu Chen doing a good job on that inner to maintain pressure. And she'll use that to finish ahead of her pair. Final time 41.17, 41.61 for La Liberté Roy. So this is our 25th pair. After this pair, there will be a brief break to flood the ice. The racing will resume at 4:10 p.m. Mountain Time. So this final pair before the flood features Olivia Moyes from Saskatchewan in the inner lane and Katja Lutz from Switzerland in the outer. Close race through 100. 11.7 for both skaters. As the skaters exit that corner, watch the entries. The skaters do not want to enter too tight so as to whip them out of the corner near the end. It ends up slowing them down because they have to fight gravity, but both skaters did a good job there as Katja Lutz will finish ahead of her pair, 42.13 her final time, 43.11 for Moyes. So tune back in at 10 after 4 for the remainder of the ladies 500 meters of this Olympic oval finale.